It's strange. Hold on. What? What is going on? Is the app think I'm sideways? I'm gonna need some help. The live is going sideways on YouTube, and I'm not sure why that is. Because the phone was vertical, but all of the instructions are horizontal right now. Nope, that's just the. Do I have direction locked? Doesn't it only lock in one direction? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Sorry for the delay, everybody. We are having some issues with YouTube's app. If you're watching somehow simultaneously on YouTube, the live usually is in this format, right? But for some reason, the app has started and it's rotated the whole phone so that it's as if I was, live streaming the other way, and now I'm upside down, or I guess rotated 90 degrees. Um, if I rotate the phone, what happens? If I go like this, it just is normal upright, I think. Do we have a, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just going live streaming as if I'm like on a computer webcam instead of on mobile, which is strange. Okay, interesting. Orientation is locked. Rotate device back. It did? Orientation is locked. Rotate device back. It did? Why is it locked? Orientation is locked. Hold on, hold on. No, I'm still sideways. Still sideways. Still sideways. It says orientation is locked. Rotate device back. What do you mean? It was never rotated to begin with. It wants me to go live in this angle. Now that you can see all the mess and all the random stuff, I've moved to the side. And half my body is gonna. Fine. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Sorry for the delay, everybody. I guess we're doing some sideways side splits today. And I'm wondering how much mess you can actually see in the house. Oh, it's pretty reasonable. Okay, great. I'm gonna be really far away because otherwise my head is getting cut off on YouTube. That's fine. All right. Whew, how many minutes in are we at this point? 3 minutes, 4 minutes in. Okay, we're not so bad. Welcome back, everybody. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice a little bit of consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering we're about to put ourselves through in our stretches a little bit more fun, a little bit easier, a little bit more exciting, so that we can be consistent, right? That's the one that we care about. It's consistency, despite the weirdest of weird technical difficulties that's never happened before, like having to rotate my phone all confused. Um, Chone says, you have YouTube. Yes, I go live on TikTok and YouTube simultaneously, and usually it's just two phones right by each other. For some reason, the YouTube live today started a little bit strange, and now I am live streaming in like a regular YouTube video format this way. And I promise I didn't press any new buttons because I've done this like 400 times and it never does this. So now I'm confused. But anyways, doesn't matter. Let's get into our warm up. We're doing some hip cars, right? And hip cars look a little bit like this. We're going to start by bringing our knees up as high as we can directly in front. We're going to open up the hip to the side. It's the leg doing most of the work. The hip, we're trying to keep in the same spot to the best of our ability. All right. If you can, try and lift that knee up a little bit more. Then we're going to rotate that leg, bring the ankle up, and get that knee down. All right. From the side, it's going to look a little bit like this, horizontal. If you can, I want you to keep rotating. Bring that knee down, 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 down. Lift that ankle up, 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 up. Your hamstrings might get a little crampy, and if that's the case, you can bring the leg down and back instead. All right. And by instead, I mean next. From here, flex your hamstrings, flex your glutes. Feel that stretch in the front of your hip, and that is 1 rep. We're doing 10 of these on the left side. We're doing 10 of these on the right side. Let's get ready to go. High knee, open, ankle up some more, down and back. I'm too close against the wall behind me. I just brushed my toe. I start leaving footprints on the wall. High knee, open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 2 high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. I'm gonna pause for a second. I'm gonna move this YouTube camera a little further away so that my head doesn't get cut off as bad, and the camera angle is just so crazy. All right, continuing. High knee, open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 3, I think. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 4, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 5, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 6, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 7, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 8, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 9, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 10. Whew. That is our hip curls. One last adjustment. All right, let's do this. We're going to go ahead and start on our other legs. All right, high knee, open, ankle up again, down and back. That's 1, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 2, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 3, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 4, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 5. Keep going, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 6, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 7, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 8, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 9. Last one, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 10. Whew, those are our hip curls. Take a second, do a little dance, squirm, shake, move that body, and when you're feeling a little looser, we're going to move on into reverse hip curls. All right, reverse hip curls are basically the same. We're taking the leg, bringing it through all of these places, and we're going to go in reverse. Cool. If you feel anything achy, if you feel anything a little too intense, dial back the intensity. All right, that's it. Let's go. Bring the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Feel the stretch right here in the front. Lift that leg to the side. Get that knee and ankle to horizontal or close to it. Lift a little higher if you can. Rotate the ankle up and the knee down. Rotate the ankle down and the knee up. Bring that knee forward. That's 1. We're going to do 10 of these. Let's go. I'm going to do them facing you so it's easier to mirror. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 2. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 3. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 4. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 5. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 6. 4 more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 7. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 8. 2 more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 9. Last one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 10. Whew! That is 10 hip curls, reverse hip curls on the left side. We got one last leg to do. Breathe, chill. Let's get ready to go and finish these up. All your weight is one leg. This leg, starting by going back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, pull that leg back behind us. Lift that leg to the side. Keep the knee and the ankle high. Whoa, super off balance. What's going on? Okay, good. If you're also off balance at home, feel free to hold on to something, hold on to a wall. All right. Next, rotate the ankle up, bring the knee down. Rotate the ankle down, bring the knee up, bring the knee forward. Let's do it. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 2. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 3. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 4. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 5. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 6. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 7. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 8. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 9. Last one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 10. I felt like I might have sped up a little bit for this last round. So if you're still going, take your time, get a couple more in. And if you're also done, chill, relax, breathe. Despite the technical difficulties, there are like 120 of you on right now. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. All right. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering we're about to do in our stretches a little bit more fun. So it's easier to practice consistency. So if you like hip mobility, you need to work on your side splits, you want a little bit of help practicing consistency, we're here every single day at 9 p.m. doing this live. Feel free to join in. If you are in a time zone or it's not 9 p.m., we started 11 minutes ago, 12 minutes ago, and we do this every day. So, whatever time that is for you, keep on coming back. Cool? Hit follow, hit subscribe, and let's move on into our second warm up exercise. Whew, the second warm up exercise is the elephant walk. What we're going to do is fold at the hips, bring our belly button down into the ground. Whew, from here, we want to just chill for a second. Let your back relax if you can. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little bit deeper into your stretch. Breathe one more time. Relax. And now we're going to add a little bit of movement. We're going to bend one knee and we're going to straighten out the other leg. We're going to fold our belly buttons down to the ground. All right? It's going to look like this. Whee! Then we're going to switch sides. So the leg that was bent is now straight. The leg that's straight is now bent. Boom. And we're going to keep going. Switch from side to side. Keep on feeling that stretch in your hamstrings. You might feel a little tension in the front of the hip when you're folding forward. You might feel a little bit of a tingliness in your butt area. That butt tingliness is highly likely just more hamstring tightness. All right, hamstring tingliness. Your hamstrings, the tendons, connect behind the knee and below the knee, and the other end of those tendons connect into the bottom of your pelvis. When you're folded forward like this, the bottom of your pelvis is actually just where your butt cheeks are. All right. Now that we have done a whole bunch of these, and your hamstrings are hopefully feeling a tiny bit more warmed up, a tiny bit looser, I want you to focus on folding forward just a little bit deeper. And 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. All right, we're done. Pop into a squat. Come on back up into standing. And that is our second warm up exercise, our elephant walks. Shake out your legs, shake out your hips, do a little dance, and let's get ready to get into our third warm up exercise. We're going to do some thoracic rotations. All right. The thoracic spine is below your neck, above your belly button. All right. Its job is to do a bunch of things. One of them is to rotate. Other ones include slouching, opening up that chest, and also folding to the left, bending to the right. All right. What we're going to do is focus on the rotation. We're going to do it from that position we're just in, where one leg is bent, one leg is straight, and our belly button is folded forward. What I want you to add is take that arm from the bent leg side. I want you to reach across to the straight leg. I want you to push off that straight leg, and I want you to open up the body. Your other arm is extended up into the air. Your neck is rotating to look at that hand, and I want you to breathe. Inhale. Exhale. On the next breath, I want you to inhale, exhale, and then I want you to reach a little further over your shoulder. All right? Let's go. Inhale, exhale, reach. Whew. That's half a rep. We got to do the other side. Bent leg, bent arm, straight leg. Push against that shin, open it up, look at the hand, breathe. Reach. Whew. That is 1 rep. We're doing 5 of these in total, so we got 4 more. Bent leg, bent arm, straight leg. Push, open, breathe, reach. That's 2. Other side. 2. Keep on going. 3. Take your time with it. I talk fast, but that does not mean you have to move fast. You don't have to move at the same rate I'm doing these either. Take your time. If anything feels really intense, feels really stiff, feels really tight, slow it down. Dial it back. Reduce the intensity. All right? I think that was 3. We got 2 more. Let's go. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Push against that shin, open, shin, not chin. Push that shin, open up that side, open, 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 open. Inhale, exhale, reach. Whew, that is 4. Other side. Inhale, exhale. 4 again. Last one. We're going for number 5. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Push, open. Inhale. Exhale. Whew. 5. Other side. 5. Whew. That is some thoracic rotation. Do a couple of shoulder rolls. Do a little shake. Do a little shimmy. Shake out your body. Get loose. Get relaxed. And hopefully you're ready to move on into warm-up exercise number 4. We're going to drop into some Cossack switches. You can pause for a second. I'm going to demonstrate. And then we're going to do some warm-up for our warm-up. All right? The Cossack switch looks a little bit like this. We'll drop it down on one leg. And we are basically doing a side split on the other leg. Deep squat and side split on separate legs. All right? From here, we're going to pause. We're going to breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little bit deeper into our stretch. Then we're going to scoot our butts over to the other side. All right. From here, we're going to pause. We're going to inhale, exhale, and try to sink a little bit deeper once again. Then we're going to come back. That is 1 rep to the left, 1 rep back to the right. For most of us, our ankles, our knees, our hips are not going to be quite ready for that. So we're going to pre-warm up our warm up. All right. What I want you to do is from a standing position. Now we're going to do this all together. Come down into a bit of a squat, get as low as you can. Take it nice and slow and gentle. And if your heels are off the ground, awesome, perfect. I want you to feel that nice, intense Achilles tendon stretch, that calf stretch. And I want you to bring your chest down to your knees and try to almost bring your knees down towards the ground, towards your toes. All right? Chill, relax, breathe. Ah. Ah. That is a couple of good seconds of resting. Next, we're going to add a little tiny bit of movement. All right. When we do the Cossack switch, we'll be swaying our hips from side to side. We'll be moving all over the place. We're going to start warming up our knees, our hips, our legs with a little bit of movement. Push one knee forward, pull that other knee back, push it forward, push it back, switch, balance. Open up one leg to the side, open the other leg to the side, open them both at the same time, bring them back in. Have a little fun with it. Treat it like a little dance. Just move those ankles, those knees, those hips. And once you're feeling okay, feeling comfortable, feeling that stretch in your calves, we're ready to move on into our Cossack switches. All right? Come on over to the side. I'm going to move the dog's water bowl out of the way. And we're going to drop our hands straight down into the ground. We're going to extend the other leg out to the side. For now, you can just focus on putting the heel down. It's not super important at the moment. This leg over here, we're dropping the heel down for stability. All right, having your whole foot down is going to help you stay a little bit more stable. Next, if you're newer to the show, feel free to stay a little bit higher up. But if you got some experience, you're more mobile, feel free to drop down as low as you can. All right. Next, we're going to move our butts over that way. Use your hands, if you can, to help yourself over. If you're high enough that you don't need it and you can just keep on going, awesome. If you need a little support, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. It looks like the image has moved over on YouTube, so it's working. So you can put it back down. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Hopefully, you're able to push your legs down a little bit deeper into the stretch as we count it down, and you can let go now. Your hands might be a little bit tired. You can light shake. Your legs might be also very tired and not want to move at all. One of the things you can do right now is to grab that leg, give it a light and gentle shake, and do the same on the other side. Once you've done that, you might find it's a little easier to flap the wings of your butterfly in this butterfly stretch. And if that's the case, we're ready to move on into stretch number 3. We're going to do some standing pancake. All right. The standing pancake looks a little bit like this. We're going to open up our legs, decently wide, nothing crazy. If you can hit about 60-degree angle, like a little equilateral triangle, great. Amazing. Next, we're going to focus on folding forward. We're going to bring the belly button down towards the ground. That is the starting position of our pancake. All right. From the side, it looks a little bit like this. In the past, I have emphasized trying to get your legs a little bit wider if you can. For today, and maybe the whole rest of the week and maybe possibly this month, we're going to focus primarily on folding forward and not on the width of the fold. Okay? What I want you to do is focus on bringing your belly button down deep into the ground as much as possible. Just forward and forward and forward and forward. I want you to try to extend your arms above your head if you want gravity to make you work a little harder, or you want gravity to work a little harder for you. When you do that, that stretch will get way more intense, even though your arms weigh the same as before, but to change the angle, it feels a little crazier. If that's not enough for you, feel free to hold something in your hands, let that pull you down into the ground. All right? That's our whole stretch. We're just folding forward, we're letting gravity pull us down. And if you want, you can grab your leg, you can give yourself a gentle pull down towards the ground as well. That's it. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. Again, that leg width, however far you want to reach in that side split looking part of the pancake, is up to you. I am not going to push too far for a while so I can focus on that forward fold, bring the pelvis forward. And that is because I think this is the last stretch that hasn't really made too much progress. And I think it's the last thing holding me back from a deeper side split. So I'm going to focus on the forward fold and not the leg width and see if that helps. Where are we at here? 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, we're done. Put your hands down on the ground. Whew. That is our standing pancake. If your legs are super tired right now and your thighs don't want to move, wiggle your toes, wiggle your heels, wiggle your toes, wiggle your heels, wiggle your toes in towards the center of your body. Bring your legs together. Slowly come on up, push your body off of your thighs, and come back into standing. That is our third stretch, the standing pancake. Hopefully, you're feeling that forward fold. Maybe you're feeling it deep in the hamstrings and the glutes now. That's where you should be feeling. We're going to move on into our fourth stretch now. All right. It is, you got a choice between the figure four and the pigeon stretch. Every day I try to explain one stretch, and then if you want the other one, you got to come back. But if you're a regular on the show, if you have some experience, feel free to do whichever one you prefer. It's the figure four and or the pigeon. I am pretty sure we did figure four last night, so today we're going to talk about the pigeon. Fundamentally, both stretches have the same general motion. One just has us laying so that our gravity is pulling us down towards our leg, and the other one has us on our back, so we have to pull our legs towards our chest. All right? If that sounds confusing, don't worry about it. We're explaining the pigeon today, so let's get into it. Fundamentals. We're taking this leg, we're crossing over to the other side. So it makes this thing that kind of looks like the number four. All right. From where we're grabbing that ankle, we're bringing it up towards the belly button, and we're bringing our belly button down towards that ankle, so we're in this kind of position. From the side, it looks a little bit like this. You should feel a stretch here in the side of your hip, in the side of your glute. You might feel it in your hamstrings. You might feel it when you're folding forward. Those are all relatively normal. And I think that's all we need to explain, so let's get to the floor. Remember, we're bringing the leg across the body. You don't have to come to the floor the way that I did. I just like to show off. Um, but I'm also trying to prove to you that the leg has stayed in that same position. We just dropped to the ground. All right. From here, you got options. This leg over here, you can let it rest on the side. You can have it bent. You can stick it over that way. What matters for us in this stretch is the muscle right here in the glute. All right. And you can hit that muscle just by focusing on getting this center line through your torso, through your upper body, to fold forward, sort of in between your knee and your ankle. For me, that's about right here. So I'm going to go, wee. Oh, that is the pigeon. If you do it with a bent leg on the side, awesome. You might have seen other variations of this. One of them, the most famous one, being the one where your other leg goes right back behind you. Right? If you are less flexible and you can't get into this position, feel free to just let your leg drop to the side with your knee bent. It's perfectly fine for our purposes. All right. But if you're really, really serious about getting this leg back behind you, got a couple of options to make this a little easier for yourself. One of them is stop trying to sit up so straight. All right, just lean forward a little bit. It'll put a lot less pressure on the hip. It'll put a lot less pressure on the knee. It'll be easier to handle. Next, you can, if that's not an option, you can't fold forward enough, you can elevate your front leg. All right, and this I recommend for everybody because you can make this pigeon into a much more active exercise too. It doesn't just have to be a stretch. But I digress. We're going to move on into the stretch. We're going to keep talking about the stretch. If your front leg is elevated, your hips are going to come up off the ground. If your hips are off the ground, this back leg is going to have way more space to get behind you and get underneath you. All right, and you can continue doing the folds as per usual. All right, so that is the pigeon. We're gonna hang out, fold forward. We're gonna try and turn into jelly and flop into the ground. We're gonna hang out for 30 seconds on each leg. You ready? Let's go. Leg across the body, middle line down my torso is hitting that midpoint between the knee and the ankle. We're folding forward. Keep the leg from sliding away. Hold it so it's perpendicular to your body. Extend the other leg back behind you. Inhale. Exhale, sink into that stretch, turn into jello. Inhale, exhale, sink into that stretch, and 30 seconds. Let's do it. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. If suddenly you find the stretch just got a little bit easier, and you're not sure why, it's probably because your foot slipped and it started going in towards your groin. To make that stretch harder again, if you want, you don't have to, but if you want to, you can push that foot towards your face. Even if it's a tiny little bit, it will make your hamstrings go wild. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our pigeon. Whew. We're gonna switch over to the other leg. Let's go. Other leg is across. This leg is switching. Again, we're trying to bring that middle line down to the middle line between the knee and the ankle. I'm referring to this backward. Middle line, midpoint between the knee and the ankle. And we're trying to fold. If you can, extend that back leg behind you. Again, optional. And we're trying to bring our hips down to the ground first, and then we're folding forward. All right. So don't get into a situation where your butt is really high, but your head is low on the ground. That's not how it works. Hips down, then forward fold. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27. Keep breathing. Sink into that stretch. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our stretch. Whew. That's our pigeon. We have done 4 of our 5 stretches. We're down to the final one. And if you're new to the show, this one goes a little bit differently. We're doing 3 rounds of 30 seconds of the side splits. If you've never done a side split before, then I should remind you that this is a 45 to 60-minute long live side splits and hip mobility show. We do this every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern Time to practice consistency, to build a little community, to make the suffering that we're about to do more of, a little bit more fun, a little bit more entertaining, so that it's easier to practice consistency. All right. And in between each of those 30-second rounds of stretching, we're going to shake out the tension. We're going to get our muscles nice and loose so that we can drop a little bit deeper into the stretch. All right. So if you're ready, if you're excited about side splits, you're excited about hip mobility, make sure to hit follow, make sure to hit subscribe, and make sure to keep coming back. Otherwise, it's going to be hard for you to stay consistent with it. Cool. Let's move on into some side splits. First thing I want you to do is walk your butt up to the wall. Rest your butt against the wall. And then I want you to take one step in front of said wall. And we're ready to begin. All right. The wall is very important because at multiple points we'll be resting our butt against the wall for support. And we want it there. It's also important because you might get into a situation where you're losing balance and you're starting to fall backwards. You're like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. And then when you fall backwards, your butt will nicely, gently rest on the wall and everything will be a-okay. That is what we want. Okay? So once your butt is against that wall, you can always recover by doing a little hip thrust. Whee! You're back and we're ready to continue. All right. So if your legs are super wide right now, we're ready to go to the next step. If your hips are hurting because your legs are so wide right now, you've gone too far. Bring your legs back in just a little bit until that pain goes away. What it looks like for me might not be what it looks like for you. Everybody's hip anatomy is going to be a little bit different. And maybe you're here and you're going, I can't move already. There's some people out there in the world who can drop down into a full split and have absolutely zero discomfort and just drop right in. That is not how it works for the majority of us. All right. Most of us are going to have to do some rotating. And we'll talk about that in a hot second. Bring your legs in together if your hips are hurting, and let's focus on folding forward. Bring that belly button down towards the ground. Boom! If this looks like the starting position for the pancake, you are absolutely right. So far, it's the same. If you can, put your hands down on the ground for a little support. If you cannot, or you just plain don't want to, feel free to elevate your hands with a little bit of something. I prefer a stool. I think this is like an 8 or 9 inch stool, and it's like $12 off Amazon. What else? You can use yoga blocks. You can use a small stool. You can use a chair a little bit higher. If you'd like, you can use a coffee table. Um, we are ready to continue. From here, if you can drop a little bit lower, great, go for it. When you are folded forward like this, that hip discomfort should go away because this new angle changes the relationship between your thighs and your hips. And take advantage of it. Get a little bit deeper, do a little shimmy, do a little dance, and drop a little bit lower. From here, hopefully you're still comfortable. We're going to do something called external rotation of the leg. All right? We're going to rotate the leg so that the knees point up and the heels are down and the toes are up. All right? It looks a little bit like this. Boom. Heels down, toes up, knees up. We got to do the other side. Boom. Heels down, toes up, knees up. All right? When you do this, we really, really doubly make sure our hips are not going to smash into our thigh bones. All right? And that is the purpose of this. It is to help us get into a deeper side split. Now, if you can, drop a little bit deeper. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. If you're not going anywhere, that's totally fine. Don't worry. Just try your best to relax. Next, try to walk your hands towards your hips. If you're low enough on the ground to do this with your hands on the floor, awesome. If you're not quite there yet, feel free to walk your hands back and bring your hips close to the edge of the stool or the thing that you're holding onto. All right? If you can, I want you to try to scoot back up against the wall for support. It will help ease the burden. It will help make it less stressful. It will help make it a little bit calmer for you to chill in this position. All right? So if you can, lower your butt up to the wall and chill. Right now, if your knees and your toes are pointing up and the top of your head is also pointing up, we're still holding a side split. You can start relaxing some muscles, all right? If you were flexing the foot, because I was like, you have to point your toes up, you have to point your knees up, you can relax those. If you're flexing the feet, the calves, the hamstrings, the glutes, the low back, all those things, relax them, all right? And sink a little bit deeper, wherever it is that you can reach. From here, we're in our deepest stretch, all right? That's it. We're going to count down for 30 seconds and we'll be done with this. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. Keep breathing. Keep trying your best to relax. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Walk your hands forward. Come on out of that stretch. Bring your legs together underneath you. That is side split number 1. Whew. If you're tired, that sounds about right. This is how the show goes. We're going to slowly come back out of that stretch and into standing. Slowly push off your legs. Come on up, come on up, come on up. Whew. Shake out your legs. Shake, 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 shake. And we're going to try our best to relax all the muscles that are so stiff, so tense right now. Okay? What I want you to do is put all your weight into one leg, and I want you to slowly shake out your other ankle. As you get more comfortable, as you get more relaxed, I want you to shake a little bit harder. I want you to focus on just flopping around. Flop, 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 flop. You are made of giant, soggy, wet noodles. All right? When your ankles are relaxed and they're swinging all over the place, it's a good chance that the muscles above your ankles are also relaxed and floppy and chilling so that you can reach all those places with your ankle. All right? That's what we want. We want our muscles to be chilling. And it starts with a gentle ankle shake. All right? Once you've done a couple of seconds of these, you're feeling a little bit looser, stand on your two legs, do a little dance, do a little shimmy, do a little wiggle, and see if you're feeling a little bit better. All right? If you're ready, we're going to move on to our hips. I want you to stand, put all your weight into one leg, big toe of the other leg down on the ground. I want you to rotate the knee in, and I want you to rotate the knee out, and then in, and then 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 out. You don't have to go fast, but if you're new, especially, I want you to do it with a little bit of control, right? As you get more comfortable, as you get more skilled, as you get stronger, you can pick up the pace, you can pick up the tempo, you can relax more. Whee! And that's it. I'm gonna shake out the other leg. All your weight is in one leg. Big toe is down in the other. We're bringing the knee in, bring the knee out, bring the knee in, bring the knee out. I am exaggerating a little bit to make it look a little bit more fun, entertaining, but all of the movement is basically happening from this rotating leg where it connects into the hip, all right? The rest of the body can basically not move at all and still get this whole entire movement done. As you get more comfortable, as you get more fast, as you get more control, you can shake out the leg a little bit harder. You can add in your arms. You can do a little dance. You can have fun with it. All right. That is how we're cooling down, how we're chilling out from side split number 1. So I think it's time for side split number 2. Let's go. Stand 8 to 12 inches in front of that wall. Open up your legs nice and wide. If you're feeling that pinching pain in the hips, stop. Bring your legs together just a little bit. Then get ready to fold. Bring that belly button down into the ground. Put your hands down if you can. If you cannot or you just don't want to, feel free to elevate your hands with something. I recommend a small, short, stable stool, but you can use anything that you can put your weight into and hopefully is light enough for you to adjust. All right. From here, see if you can drop a little bit deeper into your stretch. All right. Breathe, chill. We're going to rotate the legs. I want you to, boom, bring that heel down on the ground, point your toes up, point your knees up into the ceiling, and do the same on the other side. Boom, heels down, toes up, knees up. We're rotating the leg bones so that they do not smash into your hip bones. And once you have rotated them, you can sink as deep as you can. All right, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and drop a little bit deeper into your stretch. Here, we're going to do a little lean to the right, a little lean to the left. See if you can get just a little bit more out of your stretch. And if you can, I want you to lean your butt back against the wall and have your hands right in front of your hips for support. All right. If you're on a stool, it might look a little like this. My hips are touching basically the side of the stool, and my hands are also touching my hips. If you're a little lower to the ground, it might just be your forearms are against your hips and your hands are doing whatever they got to do to keep you supported. All right. From here, breathe, chill. Again, if your toes are pointing up, your knees are pointing up, and the top of your head is pointing up, we're maintaining that side split position, and you can try and relax some muscles. You can try and slip a little bit deeper into your stretch. All right, inhale, exhale, sink a little bit deeper. All right, time for the 30 seconds. We got options. If you want, you can sit here and do the same exact stretch as we did before, or you can walk your hands forward so that it looks like you're about to do a push-up, but in a split, and your knees are going to be pointing up at a diagonal at around like 45 degrees into the corner of your house, into the corner of your apartment. And that is the stretch that we're getting into because it stretches out the inner thighs. All right. Whew. I hope you're in position. If you want to add another wiggle to the side, either side, you're free to do so. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. Feel free to experiment with contracting some muscles. For example, contract your glutes. See if you can almost pull your legs wider, even if you don't move anywhere. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, we're done. Walk your hands forward. Give your hips a little bit of space. Bring your legs in underneath you. That is our second stretch. Whew. Sit back, relax, breathe, chill. It's side split number 2. We're going to slowly come back into standing. We're going to shake out the tension in our bodies. We're going to get ready for side split number 3. And we're going to get ready to wrap up the show after that. All right. Let's go. Slowly come back into standing. Slowly shake out your ankles. Pick up the pace. Pick up the intensity as you find it comfortable. All right. You don't have to match my speed. You don't have to match anybody's speed. You don't have to go fast at all. You don't have to shake aggressively if you don't feel like it. All right. You can take it nice and slow and build up to whatever you're ready for. Cool. The goal of this, once again, is to relax the muscles in the leg. When you see your ankle flopping all over the place, and you also know that if you flex the foot, it looks like this. If you point the toe, it looks like this. If you do some ankle circles, it looks like this. And you try really hard to get into those positions, contracting all those muscles to get into those positions. If your ankle is hitting all those positions just by you flopping around, all the muscles that let you do that stuff have to be relaxed. All right? And relaxed enough to let you do those things. So, hopefully at this point, you've shaken out your leg muscles enough. We're ready to move on into our hips. Let's go. All your weight is one leg, big toe is down on the other. We're rotating leg in and out and 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 in and out. Other side. Foot is down, big toe is down. Sorry, leg is supporting all of our weight. Big toe on the other leg is down. Boom. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Do a little dance. Have fun with it. All right. If you want to turn this into something that looks a little bit more skillful, perhaps a little graceful, and use those same muscles that we've been training, you can do some stinky leg. Extend that leg out to the side. Bring that arm up and pull that whole leg in. Pull that whole leg in. And you can even rotate it back out, just like we were doing. You can go boom and push that leg back out. In, out, in, out, in, out. We're working on hip mobility, right? We're working on trying to build up some strength, build up some movement. Feel free to turn it into something fun, turn it into something graceful if that is up your alley. All right. Hopefully your hips are relaxed. I don't hope I didn't skip anything. We're ready to move on into side split number 3. Let's go. Stand up nice and tall. Rest your butt against the wall. Take one tiny step, each 12 inches forward in front of that wall. Open up those legs. Fold that belly button down into the ground. Put your hands down. If you cannot or you don't want to, use something for support. All right. From here, see if you can drop a little bit deeper into the stretch. If you cannot, don't worry. No, there's no pressure here. It's just if you can, take it. All right. Next, our feet are currently pointing forwards. Our knees are kind of pointing forwards. We're going to change that. We're going to rotate the whole leg back about 90-ish degrees, and it's going to look like this. Boom. Heels down, toes up, knees up. And then we're going to do the other side. Boom. Heels down, toes up, knees up. From here, we're already in our side split. We're just going to drop a little bit deeper now. All right, let's go. Put your hands by your hips. Let your legs drop down. If you're using a stool, if you're using something to support you, let your hips drop, 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 drop. Preferably rest your butt against the wall so that you have a little bit more support, a little comfort, a little control, and keep sinking. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Sink a little deeper into that stretch. Do a little lean to the right, little lean to the left, little lean to the right, little lean to the left, little lean to the right, little lean to the left. And that is our stretch. We got options here. You can stay here for 30 seconds and do this version of the stretch. You can walk your hands forward, focus on the inner thigh muscles, the part two that we just did. And we have a third option, which is we can do some pancakes. I need to do and work on my pancake stretches. That is why I'm doing this as the third and final stretch. I've shown you everything else that you can do from here, and you can pick which one you prefer. I'm doing the pancake because I believe my lack of mobility in the pancake is holding me back from my overall side split. So that's why I'm choosing to work on this. You can focus on whatever you would like. All right, we're gonna start in about 5 seconds. Get into your stretch. Get ready. Don't forget to breathe. We're holding it for 30 seconds. Keep on reaching. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our third and final stretch. Bring your legs together. Oh, or walk your hands forward. Whatever you got to do, get yourself out of that stretch. Crawl. Bring your knees down. Grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to because we're done with all the hard stuff. It's time to shake out the tension so that you can go back to whatever else you got to do for the rest of the day. It's time to do some joint checks to make sure everything is doing well so that you can do whatever else you got to do for the rest of the day. So let's go do that. Oh, come on, back into standing. And let's shake out those ankles. Whew. Shake, 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 shake. At this point, for round three, you can start shaking out whatever you want. All right. You got enough experience shaking out your ankles. If you want to start gently shaking out other stuff in your body all at the same time, because like I told you, this is just about relaxation, feel free to add it in. All right. All we care about is that the muscles are relaxed, that they're feeling all right, that you have control over them again, and that they're not going, and you're feeling like Frankenstein in an old school movie. All right. Oh, hopefully your ankles are a little chill, a little more relaxed. Let's move on into our hips. All your weight is in one leg, big toe is down. We're starting with the basics. We're bringing the knee in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. If you're ready for something a little bit more fun, feel free to do the dance, right? Bring the knee in, pushing that leg out, bring the knee in, pushing that leg out. And we also have a third move. If you stick your leg out straight to the side, give it a tiny little bit of a bend, and you focus on using those muscles we've been training this whole time to rotate in, out, in, out, in, out super fast. If you start shaking super fast and there's almost no weight on this leg, all your weight is here, that thigh muscle can go all over the place, right? Your legs will look like they turned into jello. That's what we want. That is a really good sign your thighs are really loose, right? Relax. We're gonna do the same on the other side. All your weight is in one leg, big toe of the other leg is down, trying to straighten it out over to that side. There's a tiny, tiny little bit of a bend, right? Nothing crazy, just a tiny little bit of a bend. And we're rotating that knee in and out and in and out, in and out, in and out, and out, so fast that the leg is just going. And if your thighs are getting a little itchy, chances are you're doing it right. All right. Whew, that is us shaking out some tension. And now it's time for some joint checks. We're going to continue with some hip circles, nice and slow. All right. Slowly work through that whole entire hip. Whew, nice and gentle. Do a couple circles one way, stop, come back around the other way, And if anything feels like it needs a little extra love, needs a little extra attention, feel free to hang out there for a second. I tend to have a lot of tension on the left and right sides after the side splits. If you notice you're experiencing the same, feel free to spend some extra time there. Okay? Next, we're going to bring one knee up and the other knee up. If your legs are lifted, you're ready to move on. We're going to do some calf raises from a squat position. All right. What I want you to do is bring your legs underneath your hips, not super wide, not too narrow, just pretty neutral, straight down. All right. From here, I want you to pop into a bit of a squat. I want you to bring your chest down to your knees, and I want you to try and push your knees forward towards your toes and beyond. All right. From here, you should feel like you're about to fall forward. And your toes should be working real hard, gripping the floor, keeping you from falling. So you should be feeling a whole bunch of tension in your toes. And the arch of your foot should be kicking in to help support your toes, helping keep your foot strong. That is what we want. From here, stick your hands down if you need a little bit of support. If you don't worry, you don't have to. And we're going to work on some calf raises. All right. Slowly go all the way up with control if you can. Come on down with control if you can. And do as many of these as you'd like. All right, that's it. That's the whole entire joint check. What we just did was force our toes to work real hard, gripping the floor. We forced our arch of the foot to work real hard to support our toes, have that nice and strong platform on the ground. We forced our Achilles tendon to get into that nice deep stretch, our calves to get stretched out, quads working real hard to keep us stable, putting all that pressure into the knees, into the hips, into the low back. And then we did some crazy calf raises from them, right? Forcing all those tendons, all those joints, all those muscles to work together pretty well so you can get through that crazy movement. So if you were able to pull that off, chances are you're doing pretty good and you can go back to whatever else you got to do for the rest of the day. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in, practicing consistency, working on your side splits, working on your hip mobility with me today. We do this live every single day to practice the number one most important quality, which is consistency. All right. I show up and do this live 9 times a week. 7 times is at this time, 9 p.m. until about 10:30 p.m. If it is currently not, what is that, 10:06 for you right now, this show started an hour and 6 minutes ago. And that is the same time that we do this live pretty much every single day of the week. So feel free to come back in. Obviously, we're doing hip mobility and side splits, and there's some physical stuff. But what I really, really care about, and what I hope you take away from this, is uh, when you want to become consistent, it takes effort, right? It takes setting time aside. It takes showing up. It takes coming in on a 20% energy day and giving your 20% to the thing that you're trying to stay consistent with. And if you've had difficulty trying to stay consistent over the years, I'd like you to know that this is probably like my 500th day staying ish consistent on this live and doing it almost daily. Uh, And I have wanted to do the side splits for 15 years prior to this. 15 years is way longer than 500 days. I have started and stopped, mostly stopped doing side splits for probably 99% of the year. I do like 1 or 2 or 3 side split workouts. I get sore and then I take a couple of days off and then I never come back, right? If that sounds like you in your fitness journey and whatever other thing you're pursuing, whether it's a education for work or exam studies for whatever that you care about, if that sounds like something you're struggling with, consistency is hard. And a lot of the time, we learn about consistency as like this thing we have to have, but nobody actually talks about how to build it into your lives. So, this live exists as a way to keep me accountable, to keep me showing up, keep me working towards my goals. I designed the live so that it's recoverable, at least for me, on a daily basis, so that I can do it 9 times a week without completely destroying my body, right? I design the live so that I make sure I commit this 9 p.m. onwards time, about an hour and a half every single day, to this show, to showing up for you guys so that we can do this workout together. Whatever it is that you care about, it's going to be really hard to build consistency without slowly making those same types of decisions. If you know you struggle with coming back to a workout after you've been sore, maybe you need to have a little less intensive a workout and find a way to do it a little bit every single day. Once you've built it into something that you can do every single day, where you don't even think about showing up because it's just normal, you can change the workout to whatever it is that you want, right? But building that consistency is really, really, really important. Once you've built it, you can do whatever you want. But until you've built it, you can have the best plan in the world. But if you can't follow the plan, it doesn't matter. So this is the deeper message behind the side splits, behind the hip mobility that we're doing. It is about trying our best to slowly build a little bit of consistency to prove to ourselves, subconsciously every single day that we are the people who show up. We're the people who make the little bit of sacrifice, right? You could be enjoying yourself instead of suffering doing side splits. You could be hanging out with other people, right? And what you have decided instead is to pursue something that you care about. And kudos to you. Anyways, that's enough lecturing. That's what the show is about. If you need a little bit of help practicing consistency, if you need a little bit of help trying to stay consistent with your side splits and hip mobility in particular, make sure to hit follow, make sure to hit subscribe, and keep coming back. We're live every day at 9 p.m. Eastern. If that time makes no sense for you, we started an hour and 10 minutes ago, and that's the time every single day. All right? I make some other content, by the way. Most of it aligns kind of with that consistency sort of mentality. For the most part, if you've got 2 minutes while you're waiting for your coffee to come out the machine, or your French press to finish soaking the coffee juices, or you're waiting for your microwave to finish heating up lunch, those are 2, 3 valuable minutes every single day that you can add to a little bit of movement. You can add a little bit of movement too. And I recommend you do it. It doesn't have to be crazy. You can start with just some basic calf raises. You can do it with some gentle squats. You can hold on to something and just work on your balance on one leg, right? Those little moments, those 2 or 3 minutes, are super meaningful because they add up. And most of your joints need that movement in order to heal and recover. All right. If you've been having achy joints, the solution for the majority of people is getting a little bit more movement, not less. The more movement that you have, the more synovial fluid nutrients move around your body, and the better your joints can actually heal. So, low intensity movement multiple times throughout the day, that stuff is really good for you. Don't sleep on it. Cool. I make some other content that's a little bit more intense. It's not just trying to get a little bit of gentle movement to help you take care of your body. I'm working on calisthenics, and I got a couple of quick tutorials out. The past couple of weeks, I've been talking about elbow levers, frog stands, crow poses. I also have a basic pull-up tutorial out that came out yesterday. So if you're working on your first pull-up, you're trying to rebuild some strength to get back into pull-ups, that is a video you should check out. If you have not yet, make sure to check out my YouTube channel. It is the same username as on TikTok, splits on the side, splits plural on the side. And the most recent video, I think, is like 5 or 6 minutes long. It's about the pull up. Cool. All right, that's enough shameless self promotion. It's time for me to look at the comments and figure out what's going on over here on YouTube. YouTube has been super glitchy and weird all day, including the fact that this video is horizontal, landscape, and I will see if I can even see the chat. I don't think I can. But I have a computer way over there where I can see the chat. Give me a second. I'm gonna just awkwardly shift my body over here. And Che is here asking if the oh man, stream did really bad today, huh? We got lots of people asking if it crashed or if it was the Wi-Fi. Yep, bad today. I think it's YouTube. I don't think it's me. I've been doing this a lot, like every day. I feel like I couldn't mess up this badly uh, with this much experience. Um, it looks like the YouTube live stream recovered, and pretty much all the comments were going, okay, we're back. Awesome. Thank you for bearing with the technical difficulties. If that happens on YouTube next time, feel free to jump over to TikTok. The username is at splits on the side, so it's the same username. At, when I say at, I mean the at symbol, like at gmail.com, not the letters A and T. All right, I'm gonna scroll over onto TikTok and take a quick look. What is up? Che says here too. Oh, it was lagging here too. Then maybe it was me. Oh no, I just upgraded the Wi-Fi. So that's disappointing. Okay, we'll see how that goes, I guess. Jay Lou says Def gonna log in to help with lower back pain. Oh, Che is on both platforms. Oh, okay. Whew. All right. I'm glad at least TikTok wasn't lagging. All right. And Amara Patrice says it didn't lag on it. Okay, awesome. Great, 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 great. Yeah, Che is everywhere. Che is an ultimate supporter, supporting me on YouTube and TikTok. Again, I appreciate all the support, Che. It's awesome. J. Lou says definitely gonna lock in to help with lower back tightness. Amazing, great. A lot of low back tightness could be weakness in other muscles, um, which is to say that your low back might be tight because it is compensating for weaknesses in other muscles. To protect those other muscles, your low back is firing real hard to keep you in position, right? Um, so it might be helpful to do a combination of things. One of them is to really strengthen your low back so that it can just be in a low level of tightness, like relative to its strength. It'll be like tight, but not super ultra tight, right? The other thing you can do, which is going to be a little bit harder, is start to strengthen out a whole bunch of the other muscles in your hips, in your back, and work on a whole bunch of different things. That's a much harder suggestion to follow because it's hard to identify what it is that you need to work on usually. Um, but a lot of low back tightness is from two things. One, you're probably slouching a little bit too much, and because you're in that position a lot, your muscles have stiffened up, right? So that's one version of tightness. There's another version of tightness where if the muscles around your low back are not carrying their weight, let's say, are not sharing the burden, your low back tightens up extra hard to help support everything else. And that is what I was suggesting you go try a whole bunch of different exercise for your core, for your back, for your hips to see if that can help. All right. From the live, you'll have a little bit of hip mobility, especially with the hip cars and the Cossack switches, our warm-up exercises. It will be mostly stretching when we do the stretching portion of the show. So if you were to pick some parts to really focus on and spend some extra time in, it might be the warm-up that's more useful for you to help with your low back tightness. All right. All right. I'm gonna scroll. Do 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 do. Amara says, I'm having sciatica issues a lot recently. I am slowly learning more about sciatica at the moment, but I don't really know that much. I was recently looking at some advanced side splits stuff, and one of the ways to measure how deep you could possibly get without actually getting into the side split had something to do with the sciatic nerve and bending the leg and doing some crazy stuff. I wish I had better advice for you, but I don't. So I'm going to just let you know I don't have better advice for you, and I'm going to scroll. All right. Chareth says, "Have a good night. I missed the date. No worries. Thank you for popping in. Thank you for saying hello. I appreciate it." Josh Tree says, "Hey Ken, Josh. Let me know in I think yesterday, maybe it was this morning, that he's been doing a fourth round of the side splits. He said, "Whatever, Ken. I don't care about your plan. I'm doing a fourth round." If you guys are interested in adding a little bit to your own workout, please feel free to adjust and make it useful for you, right? This is our basic format, and feel free to add, feel free to subtract. If there's a move you just totally dislike and you think it's not useful for you because you can already do a butterfly stretch all the way to the bottom flawlessly with ease, you don't need to do the butterfly stretch. You can go replace it with something else, all right? I don't need to know. I would love to know, but you can do whatever you want. Cool. But Josh is doing an awesome job. So I'm gonna keep scrolling. Um, Elena says, "I'm a 62-year-old lady, and this workout is good for me. Thanks, Ken." Awesome, Elena. Lovely. Keep it mellow, says gratitude. Andrea sold my home, says first time here. Thank you. Nice meeting you. Welcome, welcome. I hope you enjoyed the live. I think I saw this come in when I was talking about consistency and why the show is more than just the side splits and the hip mobility stuff. So I hope you like it for all the reasons that this show exists. Yellen says, hi from Colombia. Thank you for the great workout. Awesome. Danielle says, thank you. You're all very welcome. I'm going to scroll up and I'm going to look for a couple of questions if they exist. Dee says, we did it. Celebrating with confetti. Book says, hey, I think probably from the dance moves that we started breaking out. Travel with Roxy sending celebrations. Shay sending awesome emojis. People following live. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the family. What? Where is that? I, I've been informed that somebody has watched 500 hours of this live. I gotta imagine there can't be very many people that could be relevant for. Che, is it you? It was D. 500 minutes. Oh, okay. Scared me. I was like, we've done this for 500 hours? D, that's incredible. Uh, 500 minutes is not 500 hours. It's 60x difference, but 500 minutes is a ton. Congratulations. Thank you for being here. I was like, D's username is relatively new. That can't be 500 hours. Okay, so everything makes sense. D, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up super consistently. I hope you've liked the live because I mean I assume you have because it's been 500 minutes. Zav says it's sorry. Zavi says it's very useful. Thank you very much. Amazing, 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 amazing. Okay, I'm gonna scroll back real fast to see if I can find some stuff. There we go. Random generator says, how do I know if I need back stretches or hip stretches? I can't bend without groaning. And if you need back stretches or you need hip stretches, I can't bend without groaning. It depends. You should probably do both. If you have time, you should probably do both. And the reason for that is there are a lot of things that are more deeply connected than you can imagine on a surface level, right? There are no real muscles that connect your back to your hamstrings, right? Or your calves. But when you're doing a movement, a ton of tightness in your calf can stop you from bending forward, even though there's no muscle that is clearly there getting stretched. Your body has, in super simplistic terms, a threshold of stretching that it can handle. And that changes over time as you practice, as you do stuff. But once you've exceeded that threshold, it just doesn't want you to move anymore. And sometimes that might manifest, if your calves are really tight, and they're like super ultra crazy tight, sometimes when you're bending forward and you're supposed to be feeling a hamstring stretch or a low back stretch or something like that, just because of how incredibly tight your calves are, the other muscles can not let you go anywhere because your brain shuts it down. It's like no more movement. No, we can't go any further. Um, that's kind of a really simplistic way to describe your nervous system shutting you down and saying no more. So, if you can, you should do a little bit of everything. But there's also other tissue in your body that's all connected together. Um, there is a lot of soft tissue called fascia that will just tie up everything and kind of keep everything contained where it's supposed to be. Sometimes the fascia gets a little bit messed up and it starts moving things to places where it's not supposed to be. And deep tissue work, massage can help a little bit with that type of stuff. But your question was back stretches versus hip stretches. If you are struggling to move and bending forward causes you to groan, it depends where the discomfort is starting to come from the most, right? If you're bending like this, just from looking down at your phone when you're trying to be casual, leaning against the wall or something, and that upper back is giving you issues, then strengthening and stretching the chest and upper back is going to make all the difference, right? But if you're feeling it here in your low back and you can't bend forward, realistically, you probably got to go check with a PT or a doctor. um, because it can be a little bit more complicated than I'm going to be able to explain well or talk about. How do I want to proceed in this question? But a lot of it is about mobility. All right. If you can move little pieces, if you can isolate little pieces, you'll have a good idea of what moves well and what doesn't move well. All right. So if you can figure out if your hips can go like this and then go like this, you can tilt your hips back and forth. That's a good sign that your hips are relatively mobile, right? If you can, let me see if I can, if you can stand up on one leg and you can hike one hip up with just your muscles and the other hip up with just your muscles, chance that you're pretty mobile in the hips and maybe you need to work on the back. If you are Oh, I got it. What am I talking about? There are a whole bunch of physical therapists over on YouTube who do things like assessments. All right. You can Google hip assessment, you can do back assessment, and you can try to run through a couple of those assessments to see if there is like a specific muscle that keeps acting up and causes you discomfort. The assessments will typically help you understand which muscles are weak, and they will tend to tell you which things you probably need to work on a little bit more. It tends to be the case that uh, stretches are short-term relief. It tends to be the case that for long-term solving the problem, or at least alleviating the problem a little bit, you want to get significantly stronger. So I recommend you go onto YouTube and find somebody who has like the real doctor of physical therapy or whatever it is in their username and clearly has some sort of physical therapy practice, and see if you can find some assessments specifically for the parts of your hips and the parts of your low back that you're struggling with, because that is outside of my skill set. All right. I hope that at least points you in the right direction, because I don't want to point you in the wrong direction. Cool. All right, I'm gonna scroll down real quick to see if there's anything that has come up in response to it. D says thank you. Awesome. D says minutes. Me. Awesome. Adorable. Okay. Do 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 do. Siri says hi. Your voice would be great for audiobooks. I recently did something fun. Disney, I think, was looking for voice actors, and they had like this open audition. So I did film some audio stuff because I thought it'd be really cool to be a voice actor for Disney. Um, I've not heard back, so uh, my raw talent might not be there, but I have no training, so that's why I said my raw talent might not be there. Okay, I'm gonna scroll up. Oh, that is as far up as I can scroll. I don't know if that was actually when the comments started, or if it's the more likely situation where TikTok just doesn't let me scroll that far back anymore these days. Yes, I talked about the back stretches and hip stretches. Um, there's this website called like Actors Access or something, and I have only logged onto it like twice, but they basically have like an online platform where you can audition for things, and I think through Disney's website and through that platform for delivering the audition stuff, Disney, I think in the listing was just trying to hire like three voice actors that they would train and develop, and the thing that we submitted was like just a voice recording from something that was scripted, and I think it's just a thing of imaginary characters. Like they gave us like 10 profiles of imaginary characters. Like there's this villain who's a worm, and his sidekick who's a rock, or maybe he's not actually a rock because these aren't real characters in like real TV shows. They just give you like a description and like sell you this idea of who this character is, and you're supposed to use that to help create a voice for it with relatively short amount of actual like scripts, maybe like 20, 30 seconds worth of scripts. You're supposed to try and produce a voice with a range of emotions, frustration, anger, excitement, that type of stuff. Um, and so it was not a particular role. It was just, hey, Disney, you might train me to be a more effective voice. Sick. I don't know where that's gonna go, but that sounds fun. And so I applied. But uh, audiobooks, I'll think about it. I'll write a book and then I'll be the voice. No, that's a lot of work. I'll just go find somebody who needs a voice actor and be like, hey, I'll do it for free just to get the credits. Anyways, I hope you guys had fun. I think that is all the comments on both lives. I hope you're chilling. I hope you're cooling off. And I think we are at about 90 minutes. So it's time to wrap up. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in, practicing consistency, working on your hip mobility, working on your side splits. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're feeling proud of yourself for practicing consistency, for showing up, for getting that workout done. And I hope to see you tomorrow because we'll be live again, 9 p.m. That's about 22 and a half hours from now. That's a really hard number for most people to add to a time. I gotta think about how to do that better. Anyways, I hope you had fun, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Alex says, "Well done, thanks." And I think I saw a comment come in just now. Good vibes forever on YouTube. It says, "See you tomorrow. See you soon." Hopefully, I'll figure out how to rotate the camera back and not have this version of the live happen again, because it's really cutting off my head. Okay.